Hey guys, so I gotta say, fucking hell. Coming off of Slender. Slender was about 2 hours, but it never felt long. This fucker was maybe 3 hours, and it felt twice as fucking long as that. Oh my god. Talk about just walking simulator. Slow. Just not that scary. Like, it was pretty original with its ending. But fucking hell, it just took forever to get there. And the gameplay in it is just clunky and shit. Like, unresponsive. Like, there's a certain timing you need to hit the stab attack with the knife to hit the squids and other stuff. You can't hit the giant crabs. Giant crabs are completely immune to your knife, and they're an insta-kill. So, it's just rubbish. Yeah, I finished it, but fuck. And like, okay, undersea horror, cool. Yeah, isolated, cool. Basic combat, at least it wasn't, all walking simulator, yeah, kind of cool. But far out. Only has a glimpse of a giant squid, just has some giant crabs in it. So, we're not exactly 20,000 leagues under the sea. We don't have cool giant octopus, we don't have cool giant squid, we don't have any sharks. You've got like medium-sized fish that attack you, and you've got squid, like head-sized squids that attack you. So, I mean, and the aforementioned insta-kill giant crabs. So look, Narcosis is just kind of rubbish. It's a gimmick game, right? It's a gimmick horror game. Yeah. Like, if you're after deep sea horror and you want sort of an open world or something like that, you'd be better off going for something like Subnautica or Stranded Deep or Raft, something like that. Because the main threats there are usually shark or shark-like monsters. Here, no sharks. The main threat is the claustrophobia of the suit, the crushing pressure of the ocean, and running out of oxygen. And look, you can do that if you want to.
For me, it's the list.
As like its own horror thing. And the darkness, of course. The darkness is, obviously one of the main threats.
And get the hell out.
I can see why it would scare some people, but like the gameplay is just sluggish walking from A to B, avoiding insta-kill giant crabs, and then clumsily fighting things with a knife. And that's it. Doesn't change. Stays that the whole 2 hours, which feels like fucking 5 or 6 hours. Yeah, just kind of rubbish. Like, honestly, like regular bioshock, or bioshock 2, when you're like under the ocean, and the big sister rips open the giant aquarium wall, and you're just walking through, and there's all like dead, drowned people like hanging around. That is better than this whole game. Unfortunately. Yeah. So, as you can see there, you can stun their insta-kill giant crabs with flares, but mostly you just gotta get out of their way and wait for them to move. And I guess it's kind of stressful, because you're on a clock with your oxygen, but
it's all bearing down on so many levels, it's got to be managed. You can't shake the pressure. Just make your peace with it. Don't let it take the wheel. There's protocol for everything. Has to be. Second guessing puts lives at risk. So it's best to stick to procedure, step by step. So with an all-hands call, you head straight for Compass 1. Try and reach surface from comms.
Yes, it handles exactly like it looks like it handles, like shit. So there's no prompt to hit to counter shot the squid with a knife. You just kind of got to judge when it's darting in. And look, there's the one giant squid of the game, and it completely leaves you alone, doesn't do anything.
From the outside, the structure seemed intact. So I figured whoever's inside might... well, maybe it's okay.
Like, around here I was starting to get excited. I thought it was getting, close to the end of the game.
You know what to expect. Once I got inside,
we have
where it's familiar,
hours.
You should feel safe.
Hours ahead of us.
Even though I had to, those first few steps weren't easy.
And like, a scare like that, that's okay, but... I mean... Have we really established what another wetsuit can do to your wetsuit? Like, it's... yeah, like, the threat doesn't seem to be there. Like, if it was a shark or something, like, that'd be cool, or if it was like a giant octopus or something. But what's the other suit gonna do to your suit? Is he gonna grab you and shake you like a baby? Like, what's its mechanism for doing damage to you? Like, why should I fear it? You know? And like, I get it, Narcosis, like, you can get like carbon dioxide poisoning or whatever and start to hallucinate, especially under pressure. You can get oxygen in your bloodstream and start freaking out, that sort of shit. And like, that's part of the game, I guess. But even the freak out moments where he loses his mind and you're clearly in like a freak out, you're kind of just pushing forward to get through the freak out. It's not that scary or anything. Even within the plot, like, it's just not that bad. Yeah. Like, okay, something like this is pretty creepy. Fair enough, but it's like obviously a hallucination. And even then we don't really have the mode of which, the method of which these suits would be able to damage your suit. Like, it's scary insofar as it's obviously this guy losing his mind underwater, running out of oxygen, but yeah, I guess it freaks some people out who are like super claustrophobic, worried about, you know, asphyxiating underwater, like that sort of thing. People who are like truly afraid of that stuff. But like, it doesn't even have that much of a thalassophobia element. Like, sure, you're underneath the ocean and you're running out of oxygen, you're underwater.
Reaching the surface
There's
was off
not
the table,
the complete
physically
abyss
or
around you,
otherwise.
and there's not the extra mobility
So
of
it's
sharks
simple.
and sea monsters and
Get
stuff,
your
so
son
it
to
loses a
compass
lot of its
too, and
thalassophobia
hope others
edge.
did the same.
It's more like an abyss. Like, we could just as easily be in space or something like that. So it misses out its, like, the vastness of thalassophobia, I guess you'd say.
Normally, the habs are lit up top to bottom, all the time. A lot of the gear was waterproof. Some of the lights and monitors were still running. So it wasn't dark, but it's fading. Like the whole thing's on life support.